Hi, how are you today? The improved package has arrived. We're having it fitted in time for FP1. Have a look at the factory report.
What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and finally two big upgrades on the car, one much bigger than the other, but we've finally got the major aerodynamics upgrade and also an engine upgrade for this race. As you can see on the R&D chart, we've taken a big step towards Renault, basically neck and neck with them now, and we're the only team other than Ferrari pretty much to bring a pretty considerable upgrade for this race. But finally, as you can see, after a pretty steady line, we've brought a couple of upgrades in the last two races. We've taken a major step forward in terms of performance, and hopefully that will show this weekend and we can have a good race weekend and get some more resource points put away, whilst also trying to put the new package into good action, into good effect. But overall, we're going to Malaysia, and I wasn't sure how I felt going to this race, to be honest, because in the past I've struggled around here, and this year it felt no different. I felt a bit out of sea with the car. The upgrades, whilst they were noticeable in terms of my actual pace, I was still pretty far off, so I was a bit concerned that that would be an issue going into qualifying. So I'm sort of hoping that we can get on top of that, and hopefully it doesn't bother me too much. But in practice, we did struggle as well to get the practice programs. We got a few green ones in there, but straight after practice, we move into the laptop and we switch out to the brand new power unit number 5 for this race, and we're going to be using that one from now on in qualifying and race trim, and leaving power unit 4 for just basically practice. But as you can see, moving into Saturday for an overcast qualifying session here in Q1, and in this first part of qualifying we do opt for the fastest super soft compound tyres available, and straight off the bat in qualifying with the fresh power unit, I definitely felt more confident than practice, and I was a bit more encouraged by the pace. And as you can see, coming out the final corner now, as we run up to the line, we go P2 behind Sergio Perez, 8/10 off the pace, and that wasn't too bad. I was quite happy with that. However, then I got concerned again because we dropped off the pace quite badly, and we finished the session in P10 and Massa actually managing to beat me there. So normally when Massa beats me, that's sort of alarm bells, because Massa doesn't really beat me that often in this career mode. But in Q2, I opted for the slower soft compound tyre. I went out a little bit earlier in the session to try and give that one a go, and it wasn't going too badly for us. I mean, the middle sector was only 6/10 down on Kimi Räikkönen. But then for some reason, in the final sector is where it all sort of unravelled for me, and you see now when we cross the line, the sector was fine, like there's not even that many corners in it, but for some reason, once we crossed the line, we'd lost like a second to Kimi Räikkönen in our third sector alone, and I was very concerned. It was basically 9/10s in total, but we lost so much time, and I was so concerned. And then we went out for another one on the super softs, but if you look at the top right, we didn't make it. I went out too late. I left it too close to the timer, and I made a stupid mistake, and eventually we would get actually knocked out, and we just miss out in P11. So a rookie error combined with a poor sector 3, even though it wasn't that bad. Like I said, it was really odd because I just lost 9/10 from nowhere. Either way, like I said, the pace was a little bit concerning, and Massa scrapes into Q3, but yeah, just a rookie error, what can I say? Just apologies, but hopefully we can turn it around tomorrow in the race. We are going to have the benefit of fresh tyres and also open to our strategy, so hopefully that will play into our hands. But yeah, hopefully we can do better tomorrow in the race. So without further ado, let's jump straight into Sunday for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Okay, here we are then on the grid for the Malaysian Grand Prix, and we have been promoted by one position compared to qualifying. We're starting the race on P10 on the 5th row alongside my teammate Felipe Massa. Now, based off of the pre-race, I think Sebastian Vettel picked up a penalty. So unfortunately, the man who stuck it on pole, I believe, is now going to start behind us. So he's going to have to do some recovering this race, as will I, because I think I've got a little bit more to give compared to qualifying. I do want to think at least I've got a bit more pace than what it was in qualifying, and we tend to perform a little bit better in race trim anyway. So obviously the low qualifying mode doesn't really suit us that good, and we seem to struggle sometimes. But overall, in terms of this race, obviously starting from P10, we are still going to have the free tyre strategy. So there's a lot of options going on. I do want to try the one stop if possible, but it's looking like a 2-stop. However, before we jump into the strategy, first things first, for the race today, no rain expected, which is good. That means we can just concentrate on raw tyre strategy, and I think I'm going to start the race on the soft compound tyres and then use 2 super soft stints. But I'll see how it goes, because I might, put in a medium stint and just take out the 2 super softs and try and stretch out the soft stint, because I feel like that tyre wear in the first stint is exaggerated by quite a bit for some reason. So we'll see how it goes. I might try and revert to the one stop. If I can pull off the one stop, then I'll probably go for it. I can't actually do a one stop on here because it won't allow me to, because of the limit of laps on the tyres. So yeah, we're just sort of gonna have to like ignore what the strategy thing says. But also we've overfueled by about 1.5 laps to be able to use some rich mix whenever we find necessary. But overall, this race is going to be one of them ones where this, we've got no objective, just to really push and see what we can do. I'd like to finish in the top 6 if possible, but we'll see how that one goes. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the race for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. We're going to get ready for the 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go for Malaysia. And it's a pretty decent start, to be fair, not too bad. Sebastian Vettel next to me off to an absolute flyer, as is Romain Grosjean trying to follow him through here. We're going to try and squeeze to the inside a little bit, and into turn 1, not a lot of space. We're going to get sandwiched here as Grosjean goes up my inside, 4 wide up ahead here, so we've got to be very careful, try and place our car tactically and try and find a place to get through. But it looks like we've not made it work. A little bit of contact, we've just managed to avoid that. Good reactions, and we're going to get boxed in behind Sergio Perez here momentarily. He's going to try and defend the inside, but I'm going to commit to the move anyway and make the move past the Mexican there. But very good reactions, and we managed to make up 2 more places there, getting past the Red Bull and the Force India. So we're now up into 9th place. So originally in the start we'd actually lost the place thanks to Vettel and Grosjean, but now we've got to try and settle into this race on this tyre and see what our pace is like. We've got Ocon here holding up this sort of trainer car, so maybe Ocon's got some sort of damage, but straight away early on I feel like I've got a bit of understeer on this tyre, so let's see if we can try and find some pace and perform on these, because I think we might struggle early on here on this tyre, especially with the very fast Sergio Perez behind me. Okay, here comes Sergio Perez. DRS is now enabled, and for a few laps I've been able to stay ahead, but now Perez has gone for the move here, and he's seemingly finding a bit of pace now in that Force India, and he's just got the grip. For some reason these tyres are not working that well. I was a bit concerned that the graph might have been glitched out at the start of the race, but it definitely isn't. For some reason I think the tyres that you start the race on seem to be glitched or scaled, because the amount of tyre wear I have on these tyres already is just, it's ridiculous. I mean, the AI are going to go the same distance as me on this tyre, on the super softs, as I can on this tyre. It makes no sense. So that's very, very weird. I don't know why. I definitely thought the tyre wear is scaled or scripted in an odd way with this first race start tyre, because I had the exact same tyre wear when I was considering the super softs as a starting tyre for the race. So really, really weird thing that's going on here. But either way, we're not going to let it unfazed us too much. We're just going to keep going here, because we're looking okay so far. We're still in the top 10 just about, and the tyre's holding on. So yeah, I think I might have to switch to a 2-stop though, because this tyre's definitely not going to make the 1-stop, unfortunately. Okay, we've got some early stoppers here as Perez and Nico Hulkenberg come into the pit lane, and they're not the only people, as Raikkonen also comes in for Ferrari. So 3 guys in the pit lane. We're up into P8 as we overtake Raikkonen and Perez, but just setting a personal best there. Still got a little bit of pace left in this tyre, so we're going to try and find it, but definitely struggling though. I'm not impressed. Okay, we've got more super soft tyre runners in the pit lane, including my teammate Felipe Massa. I'm in rich mix now, so I've set a personal best by 2/10, but I'm going to keep it in rich mix for a couple of laps here to try and make up some time and make the end of this stint pretty good. Okay, so the remaining super soft tyre runners have come into the pit lane now, so we're going to jump the order quite considerably into 2nd place. Lewis Hamilton, the only man on a different tyre, and he's leading the way right now for Mercedes, but Raikkonen fast lap 32.8. That goes to show the pace difference, as I just did a personal best with a 35.4. So this is going to be interesting, but we're going to soldier on here. I'm not ruling out the 1-stop completely, even though my tyres are suffering, because if I can get to lap 12, I reckon I could pull off the 1-stop. Okay, Lewis in the pit lane onto super soft, so he's now basically giving me the race lead for a little while, and I'm still not convinced on the 1-stop. The tyre wear is just, if I had unlimited rich mix I'd go for it, but I need to save some rich mix because I know I'm going to run out. So I'm probably going to come in this lap and come in for super softs, and we're going to go to the original strategy of soft, super soft, super soft. Okay, so we're going to come in for our first stop of the race here. We've got to really attack the pit entry and try and maximise the amount of time we gain from it, and who knows, you might be able to overcut someone, but really got to find the limit of the time in the pit entry, and there we go. That was pretty good in my opinion. So overall maximising what we could do. Now we've got to hope for the best, and fingers crossed we get a reward for it. So here we go into the pit lane, onto the super soft compound tyres, and it's a very good stop, 2.4, letting go of the clutch at the absolute perfect time. Raikkonen apparently according to the radio issues with his car, so that's always very welcome news indeed. But here we go, we're in P7 at the moment, so we're looking pretty good so far. We've got 3 cars coming out at the same time with Ericsson here, and Perez is locked up. We're going to be racing on the exit here, and we're looking really good here. We've managed to overcut Romain Grosjean and that is pretty good. Massa is just up the road, so if we can just get past Marcus Ericsson here early on, then this will be a nice quick release into clean air. We're going to just pull to the inside and make the move on the brakes on the fresh tyres, and there we go, we're up into P8, and Massa just up the road on soft compound tyres. So the overcut and avoiding the traffic and using the rich mix in those later laps when my tyres were fading has definitely paid off by setting the personal bests when it mattered the most. So we're back in this race now, and we've got to make these tyres last a distance for at least another 8 laps or so, 9 laps, but in the meantime we can race my teammate Felipe Massa here. Oh, virtual safety car. Something's happening. It's Kevin Magnussen out of the race. That's the second time in a while I think he's retired. Magnussen definitely accumulating the retirements here, but it's going to give us a chance to save a little bit of fuel whilst we try to attack Felipe Massa here. But so far he's got some good pace. I'm struggling to make any major inroads to him. I think he must be in rich mix because he's definitely doing pretty good in the straight lines and pulling away from me. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it. Definitely, it's not going to be as easy as the tyre compound suggests, as we don't have great pace around this track. Like you've seen already, we are struggling. So it's going to be a battle to try and get past Felipe here. Okay, Massa comes in off of those soft compound tyres already. That's a very early pit stop off of those soft tyres. So maybe the soft tyre is a tyre you want to stay away because it doesn't really last that much. We set a personal best of 34.2. Pretty respectable lap to be fair, but right now we're up to P7. I don't think realistically we're going to be able to go much harder in this race unless someone in front has an issue, or our strategy somehow brings us back into play. Just in some form of miracle. But still, if I can finish the race here, I'd be very happy considering the very good turnaround on the overcut in the first stint. But let's keep pushing here. There's still a long way to go in this race. Only 10 seconds up the road Verstappen, so anything can happen. So let's just keep our cards open. Meanwhile, let's focus on setting some good lap times. We've just managed to overtake Raikkonen here. He's just coming to the pit lane for a pit stop, and obviously he might still have car issues. I'm not sure if he does, but if he does, we should be able to pull away. If he doesn't, then he might be catching me soon once his tyres fade away, because he's on the medium. So it's quite a slow tyre, but it is still a Ferrari at the end of the day, so he's probably going to be pretty quick. So yeah, he might be on the back of me very soon, but for now, let's hope he's still got car trouble, and that way we can stay ahead of him. Okay, Raikkonen has got DRS, and now he's looking a little bit closer than he has done in the past. I'm going to go defensive here because I want to try and keep him behind me, because I'm not saying I'll be able to catch him in the final stint, but I will be on super softs again in the final stint, so there could be a chance there for me to make something happen. Either way, Vettel has rejoined in front of his teammate on fresh soft compound tyres, so that just goes to show that, the car issues and also me keeping Raikkonen behind me might have cost him the race win. So very interesting to see that. I could let Raikkonen go now and let him have a battle with his teammate, but to be honest with you, I'll be in like 2 laps time, so the longer I keep Raikkonen behind, the better. I don't think, like I said, I'll catch him, but you never know. I mean, to give myself a chance this race with something else happening, the best thing I can do is keep him behind me. Okay, once again, Raikkonen is going to try and attempt to go for the overtake here, and I don't actually think he's going to be close enough to go for a dive up the inside, and no he isn't, so we're going to luckily stay ahead. Hamilton has also managed to come in and then rejoin in front of Raikkonen, so Raikkonen technically should be around a net P3, I think, but maybe those guys on softs might stop again. We don't know. There is a lot of tyre wear around this track this time. Everyone seems to be struggling with it. A couple of 2 and even 3 stops, so definitely interesting strategies going around here. I'm glad we started the race on the harder compound tyre, because we might have had to have done a 3 stop today, but either way, we've only got 1 more lap now until our stop pretty much, so we're doing a good job. Raikkonen's actually not that much of a threat, to be fair. I'm starting to think the medium tyre might be a tyre I want to avoid because it's not performing that good, so I'm pretty happy to be going into them super softs in the final stint. Okay, this time Raikkonen is even on the back of me onto the back straight here, so what I'll do is I'm going to let him pass. I'm not going to fight it, but then again, you can't even make the move in a straight line because I'm so quick. But we're going to just cover the inside, block him off, pick up the power, pick up the traction, and that's not too bad. But Raikkonen is going to be close enough to make an attack on me this lap, so we're going to go defensive early on here because he's not that fast in the straight line if I break the slipstream. So as you can see, he struggles to get past, but he's going to go for it around the outside on the brakes. A little bit of double contact there as he tries to turn in, but my car is still firmly placed on the apex, and we managed to stay ahead for 1 more lap. And I think now at the end of this lap we are going to come in for a fresh set of super soft compound tyres and enjoy the final stint of the race, I think. Okay, so there's a few more cars in the pit lane up ahead, but we're going to come in ourselves and come in for our final stop onto a fresh set of super soft compound tyres here. So let's push the pit entry once again and really try and maximise how much time we can gain and get it all slowed down absolutely perfectly there. And let's go into another set of the red coloured boots and enjoy the final stint. Really try and find the limit, push the car and see if we can improve on P7 somehow. I don't know how that would happen, but you never know. 2.2 stop, absolutely beautiful. Once again, I'm getting really good at releasing the clutch at the absolute perfect time, but so far I can't see any signs of Ricardo behind me in P8, so we are going to rejoin, I think, in P7 in clean air on a brand new set of super soft compound tyres. So this is very, very encouraging for us. So we've got a clear track both ahead and behind, so pretty much I think P7 is going to be where it's at. I'm going to be setting some hopefully rich mix lap times in a couple of laps time, but yeah, I think we're basically hoping that someone in the top 6 has a problem or there's a safety car, because I don't think we're going to get much more than this, unfortunately. Okay, personal best into the 1 minute 33s, low 1 minute 33s actually, 1:33.3, so a lot of threes in that sentence, but overall good pace, car feels good. I'm going to do probably 1 or 2 more laps and then I'm going to run rich mix until the end of the race. So I'm basically using the rich mix once my tyres lose that initial high performance edge. You know, once they lose a bit of contact, that really makes you do the personal bests. Once that happens, then I'll dip into the rich mix reserves, and that's what I'll do probably going to the next lap. Now that is the sort of news I wanted to hear. Verstappen, a problem with his car, so he's about 14 seconds up the road. I think we can catch him, but we've got to be very good every single lap and hope that his problem doesn't get fixed too quickly. So, with that being said, it's time to crank it up now. We've got just over a lap of fuel, so that should see us run rich mix for a couple of laps. So let's crank it up now and try and catch the Dutchman. Oh, another virtual safety car deployed. So I don't know what that's for, but Perez out of the race. I think he's behind us, I think. I'm not sure he's in front of us or behind. I think he's behind us, so unfortunately that's not going to benefit us position-wise, but it's going to give us a chance to save a little bit of fuel whilst we attack Verstappen. So that's always welcome. Also save the tyres a bit, but we're definitely going to be in hot pursuit of Verstappen. This is going to buy him a little bit of time though to fix his problem, which isn't ideal, but either way I'm not going to complain. Okay, there is Verstappen, 2 seconds up the road. Can we do it? Hopefully his car doesn't get fixed. If it does, then we're going to just miss out, I reckon, and we're going to get teased just like Singapore on overtaking him, but hopefully it doesn't occur. We can get our payback from Singapore and actually get past him. Okay, so this middle sector is where Verstappen struggles with his car issues, so this is where we should be able to catch him, and you can visually see we are catching Verstappen here, and also Bottas now in the Mercedes has issues. I don't know how far up the road he may be, but another car in the top end that has got car trouble. So here we go up the inside of Verstappen. He's going to give me a good old squeeze into the apex here, to be fair to him, but we're going to slide past, and Bottas is the next man up the road. He's 20 seconds away, so that's a bit far for the remaining 2 laps of the Grand Prix, but I'm going to keep pushing because you never know. But we're currently up at the P6. Can we do anything else? Oh, we've got a car in the pit lane, and that might be Bottas who's coming into the pit lane maybe. He's on the right hand side. Yes, it is Bottas in the pit lane, so we're now up at the P5. Wow, that is brilliant for us. That is really, really good. So if we can finish here, then, which I think we probably can now, then this would be a brilliant result for us here, starting from P10, and a track that I really have struggled with the performance of the car. But we've managed to sort of grab the car by the scruff of the neck and get a result out of it. I am now out of rich mix, so we're going to have to run it in standard until the end, but we've got a nice cushion to Verstappen behind, so let's just bring the car home. Okay, then here we go onto the back straight for the final time, and we are going to bring the car home in P5. That is a brilliant result for us. I'm just trying to coast the car home. Don't want to use any extra gears, save the gearbox, you know, save the engine, and don't put any extra wear on. But here we go across the line, and we bring it home for a fantastic 5th place. Sebastian Vettel wins the race from P11, so really, really good performance from the German there, and really putting one out of the bag. You can also maybe invite me to a drink after I held Raikkonen behind me for a solid 6 laps, but hopefully we can you know, bounce back from Singapore, and I think we have done in a good way, and we can continue this momentum once again into the next race, because it's disappointing. Had we won at Singapore, I would have been really, really like ecstatic with how well we would have been performing. But you know, I wasn't really going for the championship. Like I said, I would have only believed it if I'd still been with a chance in the final race, which I still could be. I mean, you never know how things could go, but realistically, we're not really planning any more upgrades for this season. So really, unless the car performs well at certain tracks, then what we've got is what we've got. So okay, I guess we'll have to see how that one goes. But We go again next time in Suzuka, I believe, so hopefully that'll work out nicely for us. One of my favourite tracks, if not my favourite track on the calendar in terms of driving these brilliant cars on this game. So I'm looking forward to that challenge in the Williams. But as you can see, Vettel in first place, Lewis Hamilton in second, and Kimi Raikkonen in third place there. Double Scuderia Ferrari podium with Bottas obviously having those issues. But we're now going to move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings, to see how things shape up after that very, very crazy race. Okay, so looking at the final race results, Sebastian Vettel wins from P11 on the grid. Lewis Hamilton takes second place after starting from pole position. Kimi Raikkonen finishes in third place where he started basically. And Esteban Ocon from P7 recovers to P4, and me from P10 all the way up to P5. And then Verstappen actually drops a place from P5 down to P6. Jolyon Palmer, brilliant 7th place for him there in the Renault after starting from 12th place. Also Felipe Massa gaining a place, finishing in 8th. And Bottas in 9th after starting on the front row of the grid. And finally Kvyat from P17 into P10. And Daniel Ricciardo just missing out on the points. And as you can see, looking at the DNF, Sergio Perez, Pascal Wehrlein and Kevin Magnussen all out of the race here today. But in terms of the driver standings, as you can see, Vettel retakes the lead by 4 points over his teammate, and we drop now to 40 points adrift, and we're pretty much equal with Esteban Ocon. Also Sergio Perez very close to Lewis Hamilton there, but it looks like we're going to be battling for third place with Esteban Ocon, who is our rival anyway in this season. It's going to be hard to beat him, to be fair, because he's got better machinery, but we'll try our best. But I think it's going to be interesting to see and also intriguing to watch in terms of how this Ferrari battle goes, as Vettel this year finally after 5 seasons seems to be on his game this season. But on the constructors, as you can see, finally we are still holding 4th place, and we've dropped a little bit further back from Mercedes. But overall, no real major changes. I could probably predict that the championship will finish as it is right now in the constructors, because every team is pretty well spread apart. But we are now going to move into the laptop. Okay, so looking at the R&D screen, and I want to ask you guys a question, and I'll probably do this once I do the post commentary at the start, but I'm going to have a poll in the top right hand corner. Do you guys want me to still keep on developing this car this season, or do you simply want me to just store as many resource points as possible from now until the end of the season, basically, plus the end of season bonus, and really buy a lot of upgrades in the winter? So essentially there'll be no more upgrades for this season, and all we would be doing is just storing an incredible amount of R&D points to really make a huge jump of performance over the winter. So there will be a card in the top right. I do urge you to go vote there, and basically based off of what you guys say, then I'll take a decision in a couple of races time when we have a lot of resource points, and yeah, we'll take it from there. But yeah, in terms of obviously R&D, you know, like I said, we're neck and neck with Williams. If we take a big jump over the winter, we could easily be in that mix with Mercedes, Force India and Red Bull, obviously depending on what they do as well for upgrades. But in terms of the progress history, as you can see going into this race, once again showing you, as you can see on screen, the 3 teams that are in second place more or less with Force India, Red Bull and Mercedes all sort of neck and neck there. Ferrari still comfortably fastest and way ahead, and we're neck and neck with Renault. But yeah, like I said, just let me know in the card annotation what you guys want to see, and I'll take action based off of what you guys decide. But other than that, massive thank you guys for watching this episode of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed it, then please do slap a like on the video. Let's try and smash 300 likes for this episode. Also, if you're new around here, why not subscribe for future F1 content, and also please be sure to check out these videos on screen right now if you have missed them by chance. And also please do check out GT Omega in the links down below in the description. Use the code TOM97 for a 5% discount at checkout. But other than that, guys, a massive thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.